Ahoy! I'll get started in just a moment. I just need to adjust my sound. That's all set. Yeah, there we are. Testing. 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 All right, I'm gonna advertise real quick. Testing, testing. Right. Crack book. Twitter. And onward to Discord. Gamer 2. Self-promotion. Self-promotion. There. I guess that's all my social media. Yes. Following event cannot be skipped. You may wish to cancel any pending duty finder registrations. Boy, I wasn't gonna skip it anyway, but wow. And what may I do for you, my Eorzean friend? Following event cannot be skipped. You may wish to cancel any pending duty finder registrations. Boy, I wasn't gonna skip it anyway, but wow. I want to ask you about the sunken vault bounty. Visited the aesthetician. And where did you hear of such a thing? I suppose I could tell you about it, except the tale is rather long and my throat is so very dry. Get the man whatever he wants. Here we are, one of Myriad's finest. Ah, lovely. Bottoms up! Jolene empties the cup. And wow, that's moving too quickly. Ah, here we are. There we are. His decision to aid Arcasadora was what ultimately won them the war against Gajsura, thus allowing our predecessors to lay down the foundation for this thriving city-state. The truly fascinating stories, however, concern his grandson, Alsdal III, who was known for his deeds as satrap in Radzat Khan's earlier days. Some attest that this man traveled to another world entirely and returned with glittering riches. Others say he brokered an alliance with a certain worm of the first brood. And then there is the tale of the sunken vault, the one you seem most curious about. According to this legend, Aldzal III claimed a small island somewhere in the middle of the bounty. There he built a structure reaching clear to the bottom of the sea, a deep and secret storehouse, and locked all his worldly wealth within. And in the centuries since, whenever a natural disaster or hardship befell Radzat Khan, folk would remember the tale of the hidden treasure. Hardy souls would set out to claim their fortune, but precious few ever made it home. Would you like to hear more? My apologies, I have a slight tickle in my... Oh, my cup appears to be empty. Mihail, another round for the professor. Ah, I see we've reached an understanding. You're a sharp one, adventurer. Another for the professor. Oh, today was a splendid day to visit the Mahane. Jolene gulps down his newest drink with gusto. Where were we? Ah, yes, those who did return from seeking the vaulted treasure refused. I mean, flatly refused to speak of what they saw. Did this discourage others? Nay, quite the opposite. Such accounts only served to feed the legend, and the golden lure grew stronger than ever before. That reminds me of something. Ozma was saying. Ozma's a fellow con. Or OBS could disconnect. You seem to be a generous sort. What kind of man would I be to encourage what is clearly a foolhardy quest if my words sent you to your death? I could never live with myself. I'm no stranger to peril. Is that so? Perhaps it's your turn to tell a tale then. What manner of dangers have you faced? The very edge of existence? From anyone else, I'd struggle to believe it. But I recognize you now. You're the hero of the final days. A drink. I need another drink to settle my nerves. Milheal, more of the same, if you please. As you wish, but this one's on your coin, Professor. Jalheen drains yet another cup dry. Thoroughly wasted. Anyway, you being who you are, I suppose it wouldn't hurt to share a little more. This friend of Ozma's, he was desperate to buy a treasure map, which showed the way to the entrance of the vault. It seems he couldn't get it from some merchant, but what's his name? I forget. Let's drink a toast to you, my new best friend. Milheal, more drinks. I'm signaling for water instead. Hey, Ian Keller, thank you. I definitely will from this point. Your drink, sir. Ah, marvelous. I'm parched. No, you're drunk. Jolene gulps down the cup of water. that was water. Did you tell her to bring me water? Still, that's probably for the best. Very kind of you, really. My head will certainly thank you in the morning. I seem to have overindulged. I am put in mind of the words of Master Jalzan. Be wary how much the drink you swallow. Lest it swallow you. Good advice. Forgive me, I will subject you to no more of these unseemly antics. If you want to speak with Azama, well, as I said, we share a taste for Mehane's fine spirits. He probably came in as we were talking. I wish you fortune in finding your fortune. You appear to have learned all that Jalheen has to share regarding the undersea vault. To find out more, you will need to locate a man by the name of Azama. One moment, please. There he is. Yes, I'm Azama. Who might you be? All true, I'm afraid. My friend took a ship out in search of Aldzal's legacy, and I've been watching for his sails ever since. I tried to dissuade him, of course, but he refused to listen. All he could talk about was finding that vault. And that look in his eyes, I knew it wasn't common gold or jewels he lusted after. He was hunting Aldzal III's otherworldly hoard, and his ambition would not be denied. I see it in you too, that appetite for the mysterious and the unknown. But I'll not attempt to turn you from your path. I know all too well the futility of that endeavor. So I will tell you what my friend told me, how he convinced a merchant in the bazaar to give him the rough location of the vault's entrance. It seems this merchant, one Zashal, I believe, is selling a map which shows the exact route, but my friend's purse was too light for its exorbitant price. With what meager wealth he had, he instead paid to learn where there are ruins on a small island somewhere in the bounty, and within those ruins hides the path to the vault hidden deep below. If you truly intend on seeking Aldzal's treasure, I suggest you put your affairs in order. I wish things were different, but I do not believe my friend is ever coming home.
Please, Ashal, please! You must let me have that treasure map!
What's all this about?
My mother and father were slaughtered by monsters. My baby sister, still too young to fend for herself. Can you spare us no kindness? So, you hope to find your fortune? And what? You expect me to surrender my wares for pity's sake? What have you to offer in payment? As I thought. Come back when you've more than rags to your name. This is no mere treasure map. It is a guide to the vaults of Arzadal III, one of the great satraps of Radzat Han, and a direct descendant of Alzadal Khan.
A map to Alzadal's legacy?
So he says. A fake, I'd wager.
This is no fake. The parchment is made with an arcane glyph of passage. You may find the ruins hidden in the bounty, but you won't be setting foot inside without this in your possession. A priceless artifact it is, discovered amongst the rubble in the aftermath of the final days, and lovingly restored by yours truly. This map is the key to fabulous riches, and I'll be the king of fools to simply give it away. Boy, you're scrawny-eyed and never return with that treasure alive. Oh, cruel fate! Why must you tempt me with wealth I am powerless to claim? How I shall envy the one who purchases that precious map! Whatever they pay will be but pittance against the golden hoards they stand to uncover.
You're a paid advertiser. The man, the myth, the legend.
What of you, sir? Fighting man of your stature would surely relish the challenge of recovering Alzadal's lost fortune.
A fortune, you say?
If I had but the strength to seize that treasure, my starving sister would never want for food.
I'll take it. Will this cover the price?
Estinian is notably bad with money.
Well met, my friend. Someone is dressed for adventure. But why Thavner of all places? Knowing you, I suspect there's more to your plans than sightseeing and shopping.
Our goals align.
Ruins beneath the bounty. Curious. And here I've acquired a map to just such a site.
With that sale, I do believe I've earned the rest of the day off. Thank you for your patronage, sir, but if you'll excuse me.
You needn't mind us.
And now I've fleeced one of the heroes of the final days. Pray the sisters were looking elsewhere.
I knew it.
This map may or may not be genuine. Either way, we'll need a ship to find out for sure.
I never took you for a treasure hunter.
Lest you misunderstand, I seek the treasure not for myself. If such a fortune truly exists, then it could help ease the struggles of those who lost their loved ones in the final days. I hope to do for Thavnir what you and Alphino did for the Alamegans when you recovered the Mad King's trove. Come now. You know Alphino needs little encouragement when it comes to recounting the tales of your shared exploits. Speaking of precocious lads, that boy in the bazaar was clearly an accomplice of the merchant. Suppose his role was to draw the attention of the crowd and add weight to the merchant's bold claims. Transparent act for the most part. It was not all mummery. The need to provide for his sister rang true enough. Thus, if some portion of the profits end up in that waif's pockets, then I will consider it money well spent. Whether the map leads us to the vault or not.
You're a good man, Astidian.
You are coming along, yes?
Yeah. Of course I'm coming along.
I thought as much.
You die without me.
Now, let's see about securing a vessel.
You will recall I spoke of visiting Thavnir in Mitra's request. Well, he finally invited me to a feast and made his proposal once I was too full of Hainish delights to refuse. He wishes me to train the Radiant Host in lancework. But that's a tale for another time. What we need now is a merchant or a trawler, a ship fit for the open seas. Matsya is a fisherman by trade, yes? We should head to Akali and see if he can help us. My friends, what brings you to our humble village? So you need a seaworthy vessel to seek these ruins. Considering it was your deeds which allowed us to return to fishing, I should think everyone would be glad for a chance to repay the favor. Wait here. I will have a boat stocked and ready for you in no time at all. Have you noticed our little shadow? He's been following us since we left the city. We see you there, boy. Show yourself. Busted. Ah, it is you. You know how far out of our way we walked just so you'd not cross paths with some wild beast? I'm sorry, sir, but aren't you the heroes that saved Dan of Avenir? You are, I know you are. I've gone and cheated you. I work with Zashal, you see, the map merchant. It's my job to play the pleading orphan. Convince the crowd his wares are worth the price he asks. I'm ashamed of what I've done and beg for your forgiveness. If not for you, my sister and I would never have. Well, we'd be. Enough. I knew your game, and I paid the price willingly. A fortunate purchase, as it turns out. For my friend here was seeking those very ruins. You are kind to overlook the wrong I have done you. But there is more you need to know. The map you brought is very real, as is the island it shows. I overheard Zashal selling the information to another customer. He told that man where he needed to search, about the ruins, about the vault, everything. Then the man sailed out to find his fortune, never to return. You cannot go alone to that place. You should have more friends with you, maybe even a whole army. I do not doubt the ruins hold danger, but I assure you, between the two of us, there is little we cannot overcome. Please, I cannot bear the thought of... We could invite our comrades. That we could, and assuming we do find this treasure hoard, it may prove wise to have more hands along for the carrying. Any ideas on whom to approach? The scions have scattered far and wide since our last gathering. Graha, Tia, and Kryl might be a good starting point. Kryl might have her hands full of rebuilding the students. But if you reach out to Graha, he will surely leap at the invitation. Will that set your mind at ease? Yes, if that man is as strong as you. Is he, though? Strong, I mean. Yeah, one of the strongest people I know. What's your name, boy? Merad, sir. Well, Merad, your life is yours to live as you will, but I suggest you find a more honest trade if you truly wish to keep your sister safe. I'm not proud of what I do, but what choice do I have? We need to eat, and everyone's too busy rebuilding their own lives to bother with two grubby orphans. Wait, boy. I didn't take this roundabout road just to see you end up in some creature's belly. Let me walk you back to the city gates. Thank you, sir. Call me Asterion. I shall leave you to recruit Graha. He should accept the invitation. As I recall, he was based at the Annex. Someone there ought to be able to point you in the right direction. Let us be off too, Murad. Do me a favor and don't stray far from the path. Good evening to you, my fine fellow. Come to see Taru's boutique in the flesh, no doubt. Might I interest you in one of our world-famous silk socks? They're so comfortable you wouldn't even realize you're wearing them. What's that? You're an acquaintance of the proprietress. Heavens, you're the Calvin? It's Calvan, dude. My apologies. Mistress Tataru has told me all about you. Come to think of it, I was to inform her immediately if you happened to stop by. Please wait a moment. I'll go fetch her immediately. Oh. There you are, Calvin! Sorry to have kept you waiting. Business is booming and I can hardly keep up. Not that I'm complaining, it feels as if only yesterday I was welcoming you as my first customer. Yet look at us now. But I'm sure you're wondering why I wish to speak to you. I have a surprise for you. A gift, in fact, a gorgeous, exclusive, above all, properly registered island sanctuary. You heard that right. Tataru Taru am presenting you with your very own island. I know you will be tempted to demur with, "Are you certain?" Or, "You're far too kind." Quite certain, and yes, I know. I hope you can accept this gift in the spirit of friendship. I have seen the weight of the burdens you carry firsthand, after all. You rose to become the champion of Eorzea, and now a hero known all across the star and beyond, which leaves very few places you might be free of duty and expectation. As I considered where you might find such an oasis, an idea washed over me like an oncoming tide. The sea! In an island paradise with naught but the serenity of nature for malms. Even you should be free to relax. So what do you say? Yes, 1,000 times yes? It's as though you read my mind. Oh, I'm clairvoyant, didn't you know? By the by, I see great fortune in your immediate future. Truly, there is no time like the present to be on your way. We make for the Morabi dry docks. Look for Baldin, a skipper near the Aetherite. He should be expecting us. Word. Oh, look who it is. Welcome back, Calvin. What might the students do for you? Raha? Yes, he's in the main hall with Mistress Cryle. They've been holed up in there for days. By all means, go and give them an excuse to take a break.
Urgica, my good man. Would you be so kind as to...
Oh, isn't this a pleasant surprise?
I wish you had sent word ahead. I thought I was having visions for a moment there.
What are the two of you working on?
Raha and I have been compiling old records of the students' activities. We located several accounts in the archives of Numenon and added them to the collection we recovered from the Isle of Vow.
Right. That's
And judging by the progress we've made thus far, sorting this pile will keep us occupied for days to come.
I'm honestly surprised Endwalker didn't make us complete Eureka before starting the expansion.
But what brings you to the Annex, my friend? Surely you haven't come all this way just to watch us shuffle dusty papers around? The treasure vault of Alzadal III.
And you're looking for companions to join you on this expedition.
Yep.
I would dearly love to accompany you, of course, but I'm afraid I'm committed to another task. On the subject of which I had hoped to ask for your assistance. Then again, it's not so urgent that it can't wait until you've returned. You should go, Raha. I'll stay here and mind the shop, as it were.
Are you sure? I'd hate to leave you short-handed.
I'm
Can't wait to
sure.
go.
Just try to be back before too many moons have passed.
Well, I guess we're off on another adventure already. Have you asked anyone else to come along?
Not yet.
Then might I suggest we invite your Stola?
Good idea.
Ever since the Scions disbanded, she's spent most of her time cloistered within the Great Gooble Library, hoping to piece together a method to traverse the rift. It would seem, however, that whatever wisdom she sought there was not to be found. She arrived in Charlian the other day. We spoke briefly before she began her search of Numenon. Considering what you've told us of Alzadal's extraordinary feats, I do believe your Stola would be more than interested to hear what you have to say. Splendid! Then let us head to the archives at once.
Wait, before you go. I have another potential member to volunteer, if you've room to spare. Urianger. He sent the students a request for materials, you see. Treatises on the architecture of treasure vaults and the like. From what I can gather, the Loporrits are looking to make improvements to their own creation and wish to learn more about how we build things down here. So, why not take Urianger with you? Let him study Alzadal's legacy firsthand.
None can deny the benefit of seeing something with your own eyes. If our expedition leader has no objections, I say we extend Urianger an invitation once we've spoken with your Stola.
Safe travels, you two. But don't forget, I'd still like your help with that other matter I mentioned.
Right. Then it's off to the library.
like a light.
I've never known Y'shtola to doze off in the middle of research before.
Close my eyes for one moment. How long have you two been here?
I didn't want to wake you.
Nor did I want to fall asleep. I must have been studying for 2-3 days straight before exhaustion finally claimed me.
That would do it.
As you know, I've been researching ways to travel from the source to one of its reflections. Well, looking for hints at least. I don't expect to find a simple set of instructions tucked away in some dark corner of the library. So I've been skimming through the stacks, hoping to uncover even a partial mention of any similar feats in the past. A means to travel between worlds. So I promised Runar. But 'twould seem I've set myself a nigh impossible task.
You needn't be so hard on yourself. The leap I made with the Crystal Tower was not achieved in an afternoon. It was the culmination of a collective effort spanning generations.
Oh, you think me discouraged? I assure you, 'tis quite the opposite. A daunting challenge and the time to sink my teeth into it. I feel like a fresh-faced student again.
A scholar in her element.
Indeed. Was there something else you wish to ask of me? Al-Zadal is no minor figure in Harnish history, and much is known about his family. But this is the first I've heard of a descendant surviving a trip to another world. If those tales are true, then he may have left behind some clue as to how it was accomplished. An invitation to delve into one of the world's lingering mysteries, as if I could refuse. And whence do we embark upon this expedition?
At Chiali, by ship. But before that, we thought to extend an invitation to Urianger as well. He was in Thalmazane, last we heard.
Then by all means, let us recruit him, and be on our way.
Our illustrious champion. Cloaked in the mantle of the common explorer, fame set aside in thy pursuit of simple adventure. I am told a new expedition is in the offing. He left to attend to some personal errand, but should be returning ere long.
You've been keeping yourself busy, I trust?
True to our plan, Thancred and I embarked upon a pilgrimage of sorts, with an eye for gauging the state of those lands through which we passed. Our travels were interrupted, however, by a request for aid from our befurred lunar allies. As you may recall, the Loperites had been seeking new purpose for the moon, another role through which it might serve to benefit mankind. The Forum hath been working to advise them in this endeavor, but I return to offer mine own counsel.
And this has what to do with treasure vaults, exactly?
You have learned of my predicament from Mistress Crier. I know not whence they acquired such knowledge, but the Loperites now stand convinced that adventurers delight in treasure hunts. Thus, with their newly built wonderland of riches and mystery, do they hope to entice all manner of daring delvers to the moon. So earnest and innocent was their desire to bring joy to the world that I found myself powerless to refuse them my cooperation. But what of you, my friends? Why are you come to Labyrinthos? Fascinating. This is indeed a most fortuitous opportunity. I should be honored to accept thine invitation. How long hath it been, I wonder, when last our actions were not impelled by fate or desperation?
Aye. Though I cherish the Scion's accomplishments, 'tis pleasant to not have the weight of the world upon our shoulders for a change.
Counting Estinian, we number 5 now, yes? Without knowing what traps or perils await unwary feet, we may be wise to refrain from recruiting others.
I agree. Between us, We should have the skills to handle whatever situation may arise. Shall we be on our way?
What, no time to spare a word for the grizzled old bard?
All is well, I trust?
A wasted trip, I'm afraid. I'd hoped to catch up with a former mentor while you parleyed with the rabbits, but it seems our paths were not to cross. That's because we didn't travel by experimental etherite. It's astounding what a lack of nausea does for one's sense of well-being.
That is so true. Not being nauseous, that makes a world of difference.
In any case, as we made our way around Ilzabard, we saw that much of the continent was in various stages of chaos. A certain amount of disorder is to be expected. The final days are over, and the people no longer have a common threat binding them together. That's the thing with these fledgling troubles, eh? You need to keep an eye out, lest they mature into full-grown headaches. So, for what reason have so many esteemed personages seemed fit to gather? Beneath the waters of the Bounty, you say? I see you've already stolen away my traveling partner with the promise of unexplored ruins and scholarly glory.
Nay, 'tis not for mine own indulgence, but rather the fulfillment of my commitment to the Loperates.
Ah, of course. And if you have Estinian rounding out your group, you'll likely have all the members you need.
More than at this point.
Feeling left out? I could put in a good word for you, if you like.
We may have been released from our obligations, but I'll never be free of that merciless wit of yours, will I? In all seriousness, 'tis best I sit this one out. Too many former scions consorting with one another might be seen as a cause for concern in certain quarters. I'll return to my usual reconnaissance and scout out the situation in the Far East. Feel free to share if you come across any interesting revelations. Till we meet again.
Shall we also hasten our departure? Sir Estinian will wonder what hath become of us.
Alright. I'm going to take a break, bio, get something to eat. I'll be cutting stream to do so rather than just letting the stream stretch out because who knows how long I'm going to take. I'll be back in a bit. But in the meanwhile, I hope you enjoyed. Like, share, subscribe if you did. And with that, with God on your side, no weapon set against you shall prosper. Thanks for watching.